Hello folks, John Goldstein here, going to give you an update on where we are right now on the Gypsy Bus build. Let me show you what's changed since the last time you saw it. Last time you saw this, all of this was all removed. We had made a one-to-one out of wood, building our contour with fiberglass, filling that so we had the right radius. We have it all installed. We have it riveted to the firewall, tying into the frame. The other thing we tried to do before we tacked all this into place, we came back and we installed the two pieces that are gonna fit the windows to make sure that all of this shape, this pillar, we're all gonna line up so that way when we put everything back together, we go to install the glass. Hopefully it's all gonna fit based on the test fit that we did right now, tying all of these surfaces in together, doesn't leak and doesn't break. Last time you saw this bus, it still had the fiberglass cap that was sitting on there, and this customer wants to bring it back to vintage, make everything look like original, so we're gonna take it off and we're gonna put it down on the ground so we can make all the necessary adjustments to put it back to how it's supposed to be. All right, so Dario's over here. He laid down the fiberglass cloth. He's going back and he's actually painting it with the resin liquid to try to get it to attach and glue, and kind of he needs to get it every nook and cranny so that way all those fibers are wet, taking that shape and then getting glued together. When this customer had purchased it, they had put a square cap over the top and they didn't want to have these features anymore. So Dario took some pictures and he took some foam and some cardboard and made this shape, installed this block of wood over here so that way he can make sure that the front is true. So when we set the cap on, the lights don't kind of like go like this. You know, they're true to the front, square. All of this was done by hand. Does a really good job. He's done this quite a few times and every single one of them is a little bit different. Over on this side you can kind of see what it looked like just before the step that he's doing right now. It's all mocked up, actually firmed up. It's got round cardboard underneath. He sprayed expandable foam on top, cut it, trimmed it to get this shape, and he overlaid it with some tape so that way it's nice and smooth. He came back and filled all the joints so that way when he lays that cloth down, it's gonna take all of that and you're not gonna see any imperfection from this surface to this surface. And the crazy part is this is what he used, you know? He was looking at this picture, this side profile picture, you know, and kind of another picture of what it looks like from this side to try to make what we thought would look original with what we had, tying into the cap, filling in the old hole, and making it so that customer has that kind of vintage look even though it was gone. The customer didn't want to have the vents, so we had to take those out. We did the similar process where Dario came in, he laid a piece of cardboard, filling that area, backfilled it, laid the matting down, did all of those processes to make this nice and smooth. He also had to come back, trim these areas, add the shape because all these were literally notched out for that other cap to fit on, and this customer wants to go back with original, having all the clearance lights and all the places they were supposed to be. Over here we have this side panel removed so we can try to access and locate all of these wires. We're testing everything. There was a lot of rivets that were installed on this vehicle that were letting water in, and one of the, you know, the key features of this bus is this customer wants to try to make everything look like it's supposed to be how it was when it was factory made, right? There was rivets on there that weren't the right ones. They were letting water in. He asked us to come back and take them off. We got the right rivets installed. They're all smooth, finished, watertight, not gonna let water in. We've come back and we filled in some of the holes that weren't supposed to be there. He wanted us to weld them in place and not put rivets in random spots so that way everything, again, flows with how it should have been from factory. Over here is where a lot of those wires from the front are all landing before they start going into the various areas of the engine. So we've been trying to troubleshoot, figuring out what wires go where while we're waiting on a wiring diagram. So when we get the wiring diagram, we can kind of look at that compared to what we see right now. to make sure everything's going in the right place. This customer really wants to try to rewire everything, and we're trying to find that happy balance between how much needs to be replaced, what's efficient to replace, and what needs to be cleaned up. So that way when this bus is done, this customer doesn't have any electrical issues starting from the old wiring. But there's a lot of things about the old wire that are really good and that we need to try to incorporate into the conversion. All right, so over on this side, we knew that there was rot up here. This customer wanted us to remove these panels so we could look at all of this framing to make sure that none of that was damaged as well. It all looks like it's in decent condition. We're gonna sand it up, clean it up, paint it up, seal it up, so that way when we put everything back on, they're as good as they're gonna be, and they're gonna help stand all the water and all the debris that's gonna happen back here. One of the other things this customer wants us to do is he wants us to try to waterproof this back area the best we can, so we have all of these rivets off so we can try to pull this piece down the best that we can, getting sealant that can handle the heat of this in this area, so all the stuff that's going on back here doesn't ever make it into the back of his bed area. Over here, we're still waiting on the right radius to be built into our templates, or not our templates, our actual repair parts that are gonna take this shape every time they get a little bit closer, but we're really trying to make sure that all of those profiles all line up with the piece. So when we install it, there's no gaps, it's adding to the structure and everything fits how it should. You know, I've been looking all over online and everywhere you can imagine, but I can't find that Haynes manual that tells you how to take all of these pieces, all of these issues, and put them together into making it what it used to be. So we're referencing pictures, we're referencing images online, all to try to blend it together with what we had when we got it, what he has as far as pictures when he bought it, and what's out there online to try to make this vehicle be everything that it used to be, blended together with today's technology, and making sure any way we can find the shortcomings of the issues that this vehicle had, try to improve on them, so that way when this build is done, it can last as long as this customer can imagine. Over here, we've patched in the old holes from the old furnace that was installed. We've again filled in some more holes, installed the rivets how they're supposed to be, welded up all of these locations that are no longer needed. I don't know what was there, but those were not needed. We also took that same strategy on popping out all the dents on the top, filling in all of the holes on the roof of the bus, so that way we have a blank canvas. None of those holes are tying into our new shapes and our new floor plan, and making sure that everything is watertight. Now that we've kind of talked about the outside, let's step on the inside and see where we're at as the overall transformation is in process. We have our first mock-up that we're actually going to show to the customer on Tuesday of next week. We'll find out if they like it, don't like it. You could also see a little bit going on the dash. Well, let's go take a peek. This customer wants a lot of things, right? And one of the things that this customer wants is kind of a straight line of sight from the front of the bus all the way to the back, right? We don't have any slide outs. We have just under 33 feet from the 0 point here to the back of the engine that's actually protruding to the inside of this vehicle. We have 33 feet to work with, right? We need to try to make it livable. We need to try to make it comfortable. And what we've done right now is we started with graph paper. We came back, we taped it out, and then after that, we've tweaked it and we've made it come to life with some plywood and some panels, showing this design for this customer for them to touch, feel, sit down, look around, and find out if it's everything that they want it to be before we build it. So now let's talk about the details that are gonna make this build come to life. Right here, I'm sitting on just about 6 foot of a booth. We're not sure if we're gonna do a 6 foot booth or a jackknife bed. That chair right there is gonna swivel around. This is an idea, a concept of a cabinet with maybe a TV that comes up, possibly a fireplace, some storage on both sides. Now that we're past the living area, you know, we have all the overheads mocked up. We have a smaller one in the front. We have a slightly deeper one in the kitchen. And this overhead is not going to be big enough to have a microwave, so we're going to have to incorporate the microwave down there. Over here is going to be about what he has for countertop. Here's going to be about the sink. We're going to have an electric cooktop and a diesel cooktop because as of right now, this customer wants to stay away from propane. We've mocked up a pull-out countertop, giving them enough counter space regardless of what they're doing. You have counter space here, you have counter space here. You know, this is the idea right now. I don't know if they're going to change it. You're going to have a nice cabinet right here, drawers right here, 2 doors right here. Right here is where we're going to incorporate the microwave and another little pull-out drawer. The refrigerator, we're still kind of figuring out which one we're going with, but this is kind of what we're generally thinking for space. Over here we have a slightly slimmer booth than standard. We're giving them the same amount of seating depth, but we're trimming them down, trying to give enough space to walk around. This is also going to double into a bed. And as you can tell, I mean, there's too many different levels, so we're gonna build this floor straight across. After we mocked it up on paper and then we started building it out, we realized that, you know, we wanted to add more space in the kitchen, so we shrunk some stuff down over here and trimmed this cabinet slightly. Same thing with the booth, allowing us to give them about a foot wide pantry just rear of the kitchen area, giving them ample storage and complementing everything over here, trying to give them as much storage as possible. Right here you're going to have a washer dryer. We have the pocket door simulated right here that's going to close off this area. Over here you're going to walk into the toilet area. Right now we are not sure if we're going to put a wall here and make it closed off, having a closed off bathroom area, or trying to leave the whole bathroom open. The shower is going to be here, the toilet's here, you got your sink right here. Again, we're not sure if we're doing a pocket door like this or if this wall is totally going to be eliminated, giving this bathroom being a nice open look. This is generally the real estate we have to work with on the shower. He's definitely a lot taller than I am, and he wants us to drop down the floor in this area so that way we can improve the overall height, and we're actually going to have this shower, if possible, right now is the plan, to drop the floor pan of the shower down as much as we can, trying to give him more overall height. He's got over 3 feet of space right here, which is huge for an RV shower, especially in an RV that's 91 inches wide. And like I said in the beginning, I mean, we have 33 feet to work with. Over here, we're gonna have another pocket door. This is possibly gonna be panel, maybe a door. And on this side, it's gonna be her side of the closet and his side of the closet over here, because this one's larger. We're probably gonna have drawers from here down and a closet in the top. And like I was saying, I don't know if he wants to have it open from this side and this side. So that's gonna be a discussion that we're gonna have. We have it simulated in 2 different ways. We have wall panel on this side of the vehicle with only a small shim, giving us more interior space, but less room for insulation. Same thing on the top. We're kind of demonstrating what we're gonna have as far as the transition from the flat to the round of the roof has to have kind of a transition point. And this is what we're simulating right now with the same overall thickness as we have down here, to find out if, one, does he want more insulation, giving him better efficiency on heat and cooling, or does he want more space? So over on this side, we have this wall shimmed out with the 3/4 inch furring strips and the plywood, and then the panel, which will shrink the area, but will give them more room for insulation. So we have the same idea here and on the top. Right here, we have a full-size queen bed. We're gonna make it so it flips up. We're also gonna make it so this area flips up, giving him access to the engine. We got a nightstand simulated on this side, a nightstand simulated on this side. Right now, this is kind of where we are. We're not sure how much space we're gonna have over here to give him an overhead or anything like that, but this is generally what we're gonna be doing over here in this area. Well, I hope you found that entertaining and enjoyable, and another example of what happens here on a daily basis here at Leisure Coachworks when you take pride and craftsmanship and we blend it together with the customer's vision, there's no telling what we'll be up to next. So click on that bell to get notified of all of the stuff that we're doing on a daily basis, or if you're in Fontana, California, stop on by.